Hi everyone, I'm here to do a video on my favorites of the year and books that I loved reading during 2011. I've read a lot of books. I read well over 120 titles, so it was really hard to decide which ones I wanted to show you. Some won't be shown in this video, but I will mention them because they are awesome. I got a big pile of books right there, and I'm going to talk you through my favorites of the year. First up, The Girl in the Steel Corset by Kady. My books are not in order or something. They are all loved, and it's not like this one is number 1 or number 10 on my list or something. But anyway, The Girl in the Steel Corset is the first one in the Steampunk Chronicles. This is my favorite steampunk I've read so far. Loved this book. Kady is an amazing person as well. I'm really looking forward to reading The Girl in the Clockwork Collar. So, yeah. Then the next one is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Ness, which is the first book in the Chaos Walking series. I've yet to read book 2 and 3, but I love this one. It took me a while to get used to the writing style because it's quite different from anything else I've read. But it fits the story perfectly, and I absolutely love Todd. I love the story, and once I got into the story, like 30-40 pages, I was sucked into it and I couldn't stop reading. It's such an amazing story, and it will be made into a movie by Lionsgate, who we all know for their movie adaptation for The Hunger Games, so I'm really excited for that as well. Then this was probably my favorite emotional read of the year, I'm Not Her by Janet Gurtler. This was her debut, and it made me cry so hard that I had to put the book away and wait until I was calm again. It's about a girl whose sister gets cancer and her family is trying to deal with it. It's a really emotional story, and even though I felt like the family was a bit too picture perfect, it worked for the story, and I really enjoyed reading this one. I would recommend this one to anyone who is looking forward to or is looking for a book that will hit some emotions, possibly make you cry, and I love this book. Next one on my list wouldn't be surprising. It's The Hunger Games by Suzanne, the first book in the Hunger Games trilogy. And this one is of course being made into a movie, and it will come out in March 2012. Really excited for that. I didn't read this one when I saw it in stores, and I didn't read it when I saw it on Goodreads, and I didn't want to because I thought children killing each other is not really my cup of tea. But this one is probably the book that made me read the fastest. I got this feeling in my belly when something was coming up. I was just feeling in my stomach that something was going to happen. I've never had that before, so that was really something. I loved it. It was fast-paced. I loved the story. I loved the characters. I loved Peeta. Even made me cry in one particular scene. I won't tell it for people who haven't read the books yet. An amazing book. Really amazing. I love the series, but this is my favorite book of the series. Then the next one, Nevermore by Creagh. This is the first book in I think it's gonna be a trilogy. It's massive. It's 550 pages or something, and I loved it. It was such a great read, and I can't wait to find out what happens to Farron and Isobel. Back is pretty as well. It's based on stories by Edgar Allan Poe. It's brilliant book. I love this one. Then the next one is also not a 2011 release. It's Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, which I love because it was amazing. I wasn't really sure if I would like it because everyone was raving about it and it sounded just a bit cheesy. But I ended up loving this one, and I prefer it over Lola, which I loved as well, but it wasn't as good as Anna. So Anna and Etienne made it to my list. Then I have another emotional read. This is Sing Me to Sleep by Angela Morrison, and this is also in some aspects not perfect. Like the makeover that Beth gets is a little bit too much if you ask me, but it works with the story. I love the story. I bawled my eyes out. I had to put it away and sleep a night before I could read again, and I woke up with puffy eyes because I was crying so hard. It's about a girl named Beth, and she's like super ugly, and they call her the Beast. And she gets a makeover because she gets the lead in her choir for a song contest, and when she goes to the song contest, she meets this guy named Derek, and they fall in love, and then she gets home, and then there's her best friend, and yeah. I love this story. I love the twist that it took. I'm not gonna tell you anything about why or when or what, because it would spoil it, but it's such an amazing book. I would recommend it to anyone who is looking for an emotional read. So yeah. The next one is probably not a surprise either. It's Divergent by Veronica Roth. This book was amazing. I requested it from the publisher, so I was lucky enough to read an arc before it came out, and I read it so quickly. It was awesome. I loved Triss. I loved Four. I loved how Triss was taught to be selfless, but she had learned that selfless meant being brave at times, so that was really, really awesome. I loved how real she felt. She had issues, she had flaws, and I love that about her. I'm really looking forward to the second one in the series, which will be coming out in 2012, so yay! And then, are you missing one? It's The Son of Neptune by Riordan, and this is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is the sequel series to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and it's awesome! Oh my god, I love this book. I got it in, and usually I don't read books that I get in like within 1 or 2 days because I have so many books, but I couldn't help it, and I really, really wanted to read this one, so I did, and it was awesome, and I cannot wait for Mark of Athena because it's going to be awesome. And I wanted to show you The Lightning Thief as well, because that's in my favorite list as well, but it's like in this box set and it's built in on a bookshelf and it's kind of stuck, so I thought I'd show you The Son of Neptune and then mention The Lightning Thief. Even though it's not my favorite of the series, I feel like I can talk about that book without spoiling anything. But I started reading Percy Jackson and the Olympian series because people said it would be an awesome series to read when you've finished Harry Potter. I was a bit skeptical because I had to, I cannot talk, because I was thinking like, after Harry Potter, nothing compares to them, and then I started reading them, and Riordan is so funny, and I love his stories and adventure and his characters and the monsters and the gods, and everything is so awesome, and I just love every single book he's written so far. I have to say I like his Greek mythology books better than his take on the Egyptian gods, but I like those books as well. So yeah, Percy Jackson is pretty big on my list. Other books that I really enjoyed were A Blood Red Road by Moira Young. I was expecting a dystopian novel, and it was post-apocalyptic, but it was awesome, and I cannot wait for the second book because I need some more. And I also really enjoyed A Touch Mortal by Leah Clifford. It was awesome, it was dark, delicious, I really liked it. I loved Lock and Key by Sarah Dessen, which is my favorite Sarah Dessen book up until now. It got me quite emotional while reading it, and I wasn't expecting that. So I would definitely recommend that one as well. And, oh my god, I read so many books and there were so many awesome titles. Let me think. Across the Universe by Beth Revis was awesome, and I didn't expect it to be, because I don't really like spaceships, I don't really like sci-fi. And then I read it, and then I fell in love, so that can be the biggest surprise of the year, I think, because I was so expecting not to like it, but I gave it a try because of all the hype that was around it, and I loved it, so yeah. And of course I also love Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, which is probably my favorite book ever. And I don't have it here because it's also built in a bookshelf, and if I pull out one book, the whole thing will probably collapse. Well, the books will, not the bookcase. There are so many awesome titles. I can't believe how much I've read, how many awesome titles came out this year. I keep trying to think of stuff that I want to tell you about books, but there's so many, and I loved every single one that I showed you and that I mentioned in this video. But there are so many more books that I really, really enjoyed. I will be doing a second video on like favorite series. I'm not sure when this will be going up, and I'm not sure when that will be going up, but I'm sure you'll see the video just appear on your dashboard. But yeah, I think that's it for now. I could talk to you for hours about the books that I loved this year because they were so awesome, and I've read so many awesome stories. And yeah, I think I'm going to end this video right here because I've been talking for almost 12 minutes now. So yeah, let me know in the comments below which books were your favorites in 2011. They don't have to be 2011 releases, just books that you've read this year, because I would love to hear which book made it to your list. And yeah, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you guys later.